Hello everyone. Today I thought I would do a tier list of some of the characters in Godzilla PS4. Now there are a lot of characters obviously, so I decided to take a few of them and give my opinions on them. And if you guys like it, I'll continue it, doing a tier list of my characters. And again, this is my opinion on the characters. So if you think that, Godzilla should be higher or lower, that's completely fine. I'm just giving you my opinion on each of the kaijus and whatnot. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. It wouldn't make sense if we did a Godzilla PS4 tier list video without Godzilla in it. So, Heisei Godzilla is probably one of the best characters in the entire game. Mainly because he's the first kaiju you get, and is the easiest to max out amongst the rest. Because not only do you have him, you're required to play as him if you want to play normal campaign. So you have an understanding of how this character works, and you already have parts for the character that you need to upgrade with. So because of that, he's extremely well to level up. And you have a head start with monster parts and energy, so, that's why he's easy, one of the best to max out first. Another reason why he's top 5, I'd say, is because of his long and close range abilities. Now, as you saw, I was able to pretty much rush Mechagodzilla the entire fight, and he wasn't able to fight back because of that. Now, you might be thinking, how does he excel at long-range combat during fights? Well, I'll show you in a moment. But besides that, he's a pretty well-rounded, balanced character, I would say. He's not too broken to the point where it's unfair to fight him like Destoroyah or Biolante, but he's in the range of, it all depends if the player is better or not. That's how these fights typically go with Godzilla PS4 with Heisei. Whoever the better player is will win. This can be said with most games. But yeah, as you can see right now, I have Mothra and the Atomic Breath Lock, meaning that the second she gets anywhere in my range, I will auto-target directly towards her, forcing her out. As you can tell, she got in. Boom, she got knocked out. So, because of that, it's hard for characters that, are extremely good at close range. For example, 2014 Mothra Adult, Bachelor Adult. It can be hard for them to get close if you're doing this technique. So, because of that, I'm going to have to give Heisei A tier. And the reason why I don't have him higher is because of the damage output. Because he doesn't deal too much damage at one time. He's balanced. It's not like Breath is balanced. It doesn't do an insane amount of damage, but it doesn't do too much. It doesn't do too little. And if the Atomic Breath did more, I might have him at S tier. But because he doesn't, I'm going to have to keep him at A. And the fact that he has the ability to counter the kaijus that counter him the most are insane. Which is why he's higher A. Like, for example, Kiryu is a good Godzilla counter. And as you watch right here, I wiped the floor with Kiryu the entire fight. So, with characters like Kiryu that are good at long and close range, depending on how you play your cards, Kiryu will destroy you or you'll mop the floor with Kiryu. All depending on how you play your cards. As you can tell, I'm rushing Kiryu so he doesn't have an opening, which makes Heisei extremely good in this option. And not to mention, long range will also work on Kiryu, but if Kiryu hits you with one of the bullets, you'll lose the lock on. So yeah, I'm going to have to proudly give him an A tier. With Spiral, I would say it's a higher A, almost an S rank, but I'm going to keep him here at A, mainly because he's the most balanced out of the Godzillas in the game. He's not insanely broken to where it's unfair to fight, but he's also not underpowered at the same time. So yeah, I'm going to have to proudly give him an A rank because of that. Anyway, moving on to the next kaiju. Alright, how about we go to the next version of Heisei that is extremely broken and would definitely earn an S rank. Like, what hasn't been said about this character? He's the exact same thing as Heisei. Only drawback to him being is that he staggers easier, meaning that it's easier to pull off combos on him. But at the same time, does that really matter when you do an insane amount of damage with one atomic breath? He's absolutely broken in that regard. So he's an easy S tier character because of this. He's S tier because he's the same as Heisei, but his damage output is significantly greater because of that. You know, he's able to shred through basically almost any opponent with no difficulty. Which is insane. Now, as you watch with Biolante here, I was able to kill her within 4 atomic breaths. Which is insane. Now, look at that health. As you can tell, I was able to drain her HP to half. Well, in a little less than half. With 2 attacks. 2 atomic breath attacks. Which is insane. Which is why Burning Godzilla almost has no counters whatsoever. You could argue Destoroyah, but if he plays a range game like this, Destoroyah's not standing a chance. Look at this. It would take 3 long atomic breaths and 1 basic one to kill her. He's insane. So yeah, because of this, he is easy, without a doubt, S tier, like I said. Like, there's no circumstance where he's losing the range game. If they're playing it right, he'll win all the time. He's just that broken. What makes him even worse is the same thing we said with Heisei. If he knocks you out of like close range combat, can hit you, he'll go right to long range combat, which is even worse. Makes it so much worse is that explosion. The atomic breath itself does a lot, but the explosion, it's what makes it so overpowered and broken. Now with characters like Kiryu and Super Godzilla, they take less damage from it, but it's still a lot of damage though. So yeah, Burning Godzilla is easily probably the best character in the entire game because of this. Like, look how quickly I shredded Kiryu's health when it claimed the long combat. So yeah, because of that, he's easy S rank character. And no one can tell me otherwise. He's just that overpowered. Godzilla 2014. What is there to say about this big guy, huh? But I will say, he is really good at close range combat. Despite the fact that I'm not a huge fan of him, he's decent at close range combat. Long range is a different story. As you watch, the armor charge attack that I do into Jaguar multiple times during this fight drains his health very quickly, and it's very easy to abuse, and it's a very good move, I will say that. But I give him a B rank. Honestly, because he's not that good. Personally, I don't think he's that good. Like, he gets countered by Heisei, Godzilla 1964, Burning Godzilla. Hey, even Space Godzilla mops the floor with 2014. If we're talking about average players here. And just because of that, he's B. Like, the only time I see him beating a 24 or another Heisei is that if he abuses his range, which, you know, isn't the best because they could do it back, or if Heisei has his back turned to 2014. A positive to 2014, however, is that if you watch my gauge at the bottom, it goes up very quickly when I'm being attacked. Like, I was able to get almost all of my gauges from one grab attack, which makes 2014 that much more broken. Because he'll be able to take hits, and then he'll be able to keep pressing his R2, keeping you right where he wants him. He's a good character, but it's just not for me. I don't think he's that good. Yeah, he's a good kaiju to play as. He's just okay. characters that specialize in long-range combat beat 2014. Like, no, it's not even this long range. In general, like, Biolante mops the floor with 2014 at close combat. So, yeah, I know who people are going to be disappointed and not agree with this, but me personally, I'm going to leave 2014 at B rank. He's not that good. I'm sorry. I mean, he's good at close, but long range combat, he gets shredded in. So, because of that, he's going to sit at B rank. Destoroyah, the monster that killed Godzilla's son. Where do I even begin with this? Do I begin with the fact that there's only 2 kaijus in the entire game that counter him in close combat? That being Kiryu and Biolante? Because besides that, nothing really counters him in close combat. You can see here Mecha King Ghidorah, tries to put up a challenge, but he just doesn't prevail. He cannot compete against Destoroyah's fast melee attacks, which goes on to show how strong he really is, because his melee attacks not only have a good range, but they're fast. So it can be really hard to dodge or even counter them at times. So he's really good at close combat, if you can already tell. He's probably maybe the best at close combat. And the reason why he's an S rank character shouldn't, go without discussion. But it's probably the fact that it's extremely hard to counter him. Like, his charge attack, no matter what, will make the character fall down, allowing Destoroyah to get up and start attacking, putting them in a corner like I just did them back at King Ghidorah. So it's Destoroyah, in a way, can counter his own counters if played correctly. Like, Destoroyah, as you'll see in a minute, has the ability to absolutely shred burning. And it's something I said before. If Heisei plays it right, he can beat Destoroyah. But if it goes down like this, boom, look at that. Got the first hit off, burning's dead. There's nothing it can do. No matter what. Even if it tried using the atomic breath, at this point it would not work. Because I'm directly on top of burning the entire fight. Giving him no breathing room, which is why Destoroyah is such a good counter. And how I was able to cancel his atomic breath with a single strike. So yeah. And not to mention, his Oxygen Destroyer beam has no lock-on. Meaning, if you tried to do the range trick, Destoroyah could smack you out of the lock, disabling that strategy entirely. So yeah, I'm going to easily give Destoroyah an S-rank character, mainly because of how difficult it can be to fight him. But I think that's where I'll wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you want more content like this, or if you want this tier list to continue. Well, with that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.